Hello everyone, this is John. Today we're going to do the second part of the leadership development for Vietnam's third High Revolution. So in the previous day, we've been talking about the first case was our first skill for leadership is the be present. So being present is such an important skill to be present as a leader. And we had a soft start with this first skill as a leader. And now moving forward from following to that first skill, I would like to give you two case study to think. That is a case number study. We'll think about a case when you were present in your project and how. You can think about a particular days, like in last 2 months or last 1 month, it will be fine too. And also think about a case when you were not present and how. Think about these two cases and situations and prepare and put your mind before we have a leadership development program moving ahead in next few weeks. All right, so now let's jump to today's skill we'll be talking about. This one, be accountable. Being accountable is such an important part from leadership. Why? Because leadership requires taking accountability for all type of results. It could be positive, it could be negative. So what is really important being accountable is, number one point I will say, ownership. So whenever you will get an action or a goal, you are the owner of that goal. You have the ownership to run that one. And as a leader, you probably have a team members, or maybe you don't have a team members. So when you have a team members, so you are the owner of the whole pie of goals, and then you can slice it up and hand over some of the pieces of the pie to your team members, and you keep some for yourself too. But as a leader, you still own the whole pie. And not only that, I'll be saying the same part when you are providing a slice of the whole pie of gold to your particular team member, and you hand over the ownership of that piece of the person too, as a secondary owner to run and make the goals moving ahead. The next point I'll be talking about is personal responsibility. So when you are a leader, one of the key things, you're personal, you are responsible, and you're responsible, the skill is inside you, that's why you promote to a leadership role. And it doesn't mean that you have all the responsibility already. After having one type of responsibility, you could have another type of responsibility to move to develop your skill ahead. Like an example, you probably very responsible in terms of organizational responsibility. So you can more focus on developing about how we can be responsible in our vision. How can we responsible, example, for driving people development of my own team. So these are different kind of responsibility coming along to be developing moving forward as a leader. And what I will say here, taking personal responsibility for making tough decisions. As a leader, sometimes we may need to take some tough decisions. Like an example, you have a member in your team, and the member probably didn't really contribute in the last 2 months as a provisional member, and maybe you need to make a hard call, maybe to extend that person provisional member before promoting to regular member. Sometimes it can be a hard decision, but as a leader, you have to take the responsibility to take the tough decision. What is really important is an effort through the completion. It's important because when you're running to a particular goal, like an example, you are in charge of Vietnam doctors and dentists, and you have a goal to reach 5,000 doctors and dentists in the group. And currently you have like around 800 or 950. So you break down the whole goals to multiple mini goals. Example, you could break it down to 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, or 1,600, or 2,000. Break it down to multiple pieces, and then you define your plan. How do you reach from present number to the next number? And each time you reach from one level to another level amount of doctors in your group, you should be also celebrating too, because celebration always encourages people to move forward. Now, as a leader, whenever you are successful, you get the most amount of credit. So as a leader, you should be also sharing the credit to your team members too, because they're the one who also contributed with you to moving forward. So don't just you are not going to keep all those credit only for yourself. At the same time, when there is a problem, an issue happening for to achieve some particular goals or mini goals, you'll be owning the problem and issues too, rather than just pointing out, blaming to someone else. That ownership of the problem, ownership of the goal, or ownership of the issue, ownership of the whole success of a particular goal is all are important equally. And the next point I was talking about the commitment, because this is one of the key things actually distinguish a leader and a person not leader. You have that commitment, that's why you come to the position. And not only that, when you are a leader, you will be also transfer and reflect the commitment to your team members too. Like an example, you have a goal to reach a particular goal, thing to done. Like an example, you have to reach around 20,000 people for a particular webinar or workshop outcome. So that's your goal. So you show your commitment, what you're doing, how much contributing you are to make that happening to your team members. And that reflection will come then to your team members too. Because as a leader, when you have that commitment, and your team members will be seeing that commitment as a reflection in you, and that will reflect on them to move forward, to show their commitment easy too. And as a leader, it's also very important that not to pretend that you know everything. Sometimes as a leader, you don't know everything, but what you can do, you say that, you show that you're finding the answer. You're moving forward to make that answer coming through. So here I will be talking to summarize the whole thing here. When we take the accountability, it is a show of confidence, strength, and commitment. By being accountable, you take the first step in driving toward an outcome. So that is a really strong part to move ahead. But now we're talking about the moving ahead. Before coming to the workshop, let's think about two case studies. Number one case studies, think about a case when you were accountable and how. In last 2 months of time or 1 month of time, you can pick up any timeline. And also think about a case when you were not accountable and how. And think about these two case study and put in your mind these two stories, because these are the two stories you'll be in the workshop need to keep speaking to other member. So alright, thank you very much. Stay in touch. By this time, if you would like to get in touch with me, so you can definitely reach me to my Facebook, or you can reach me in the email, or you can just simply comment here in the post to reach me out. If you have any particular question, or if you want to share any particular case study or article too, you're more than welcome.